Hey everybody, this is Steven with the Android Anthem, and today we're going to be bringing to you a new series where we're going to be talking about everything smart home related, and it's going to be called Smart Living. So today we're going to be talking about smart home living in a small space. Now right now I live in an apartment with my family, and we do have quite a few smart home products here. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to utilize your small space and to get the most out of your smart home living. So the first stop in our tour is going to be in the living room. Now, as a family, we like to spend a lot of time in here watching TV and whatnot. So we're going to talk about a few products that I have here that help make our experience a lot better. So the first thing we'll talk about is the Logitech Harmony Hub. So this thing controls all of our entertainment devices and it allows you to control everything from a single remote. Now what I mean by that is I can control our TV, my Xbox, our Fire TV. Everything that we need can be controlled from this single remote, and you can go into the app and create activities and whatnot to switch inputs, or to say if I push this button, this certain thing happens. So the second product that we'll talk about is the Amazon Fire TV Cube. Now this thing right here, it has Fire TV built into this, but what makes this different from any other Fire TV product is this actually can control your television as well. Not only that, it can control anything plugged into your TV, like your Xbox, your Blu-ray player, surround sound. It can control all of that as well. Now you may be asking, what makes this different than the Harmony Hub? Well, we'll talk about that in a later video. So the next product that we'll mention are these LED lights that are behind the TV. Now, these are smart enabled as well. They'll work with your Google Home Hub, they'll work with your devices, so they are voice activated as well. You can also download the app on your phone and control it that way. So you can say things like, turn the TV light on, and it will go ahead and do that for you as well. So the next product that we'll talk about in my apartment are these lamps. Now they look like ordinary lamps, but actually they have smart bulbs installed on them. These particular lamps have LifeX Wi-Fi bulbs. The cool thing about those is there's no hub needed. They strictly work off of Wi-Fi, and these are compatible with your smart assistant, so they can be controlled with your voice to change colors, brightness, you can dim them, and you can set up routines inside of your smart assistant app to do different things like it's TV time. Now the other cool thing about these lamps is that they're compatible with if this and that. So you can set up different scenarios, like if the sun rises, then the lamps will automatically brighten to a certain percentage. So it's definitely handy if you want to reach that full automation level for your house or apartment. So the next product in our smart living tour is the Shark Ion Robot RV750. Now this vacuum right here is controlled via an app. It can be controlled with the onboard controllers, but it's also smart assistant compatible as well, so you can control it with your voice. In this case, we'll just say, tell Shark to start cleaning. So this vacuum does a pretty decent job for the price, but it also, for the area that we live in, this apartment, it actually does a pretty decent job at cleaning, so definitely go ahead and check that one out. So the next product we have here, this is the Eero Mesh Wi-Fi unit. Now, I have one of these right here in the living room. I also have one in the hallway, so it pretty much covers my whole apartment. What these things are, if you aren't real familiar with mesh systems, just a basic rundown. Basically, you connect this to your modem, and then you put another one somewhere else in your house. They talk to each other, communicate with each other to provide pretty consistent wireless network throughout your house. Now, one thing I do love about the Eero systems is that you can go in here and create profiles and schedules for, different people in your house. So let's say you have kids, you can create a profile for them, put all their equipment into that profile, and when you say it's bedtime, it'll just go ahead and shut off the internet for them without affecting my equipment. Another thing this does have is parental controls. It has threat detection, it has ad blocking, as well as some other really cool features. Now, those last features I did talk about, they do not come standard with it. You do have to pay for the Eero Plus plan. It's only about $10 a month. I think it's well worth it to keep your not only your equipment, but everything in your house that's connected to this protected. So the next product we'll discuss is this Ecobee Smart Thermostat. You'll want to make sure that you can install one of these if you have a rental, so make sure to check with your landlord or your leasing office up front, definitely before you do this. So one thing I like about the Ecobee is that you can go in and create these different comfort settings, so you can have it set for home, away, or sleep, meaning that you can get your desired temperature no matter the situation. One other thing you can do is go in and create schedules for different things. So if you have a vacation coming up, go ahead and schedule that in here and get your temperatures adjusted accordingly. So these smart thermostats are also Smart Assistant compatible, meaning you can control the temperature and set schedules and comfort settings just with your voice. Now we'll go in and we'll have a full review of this particular thermostat as well as some other ones in the near future. So now we're moving to the master bedroom. Now inside the master bedroom we have a couple things in here like this Echo Show. Now this is the first gen Echo Show, and it can do things like tell me the weather, go ahead and give me news briefings, but another thing that it does is it controls my smart home equipment as well. So I can say things like turn off my lamp.
Okay.
And as you can see, it goes ahead and does it. But another feature that it does is it goes ahead and keeps up a control on top of the screen, so you can have even more control over your device. So even though the lamp's off now, if I want to set the dimness to 40%, I can just go ahead and hit that 40 button right there, and it goes ahead and brightens it back up to 40%. If I just want to completely turn it off, I'll just turn it off, turn it back on. You get the idea. But what it also does is it controls other things in my room. Like I have a smart switch connected to my fireplace, so I can say things like turn my fireplace on.
Okay.
And as you can hear, the fireplace just cut on, which is good for those nights that it gets real cold. If I want to go ahead and produce some more heat into our living room or bedroom, we're good to go. Now, as you guys have seen, these bulbs are smart as well on this lamp. These are actually the Mercury Smart LED bulbs that you can pick up at Walmart. Now these are a little bit on the cheaper end if you want just some cheap smart bulbs. And these are just controlled via an app on your phone, and as well as you just saw, smart voice assistant as well. Now you may be asking yourself, what makes this different than the LifeX bulbs? Well, in future videos, we'll go ahead and have a comparison video as well as a review of these bulbs. So stay tuned for those. All right, so now we're making our way into the kitchen. Now the kitchen, I'd say, is probably one of the more non-smarter rooms in this apartment, and the reason is because we're limited on what we can do. But what we do have is the Lenovo Smart Display. Now this thing is the 10-inch version of this display, and it comes equipped with Google Home Assistant built into it. So now I like it in the kitchen because we can do things like set timers. We can go ahead and get weather updates while we're getting the kids ready for school in the morning. We can go ahead and look up recipes for things that we're wanting to cook for dinner that night. So this thing can do a lot. This thing does have a speaker on the side, and it does produce wonderful sound. Out of all the Smart Hubs displays, I say that this one is probably one of the better ones as far as sound quality goes. But we'll dive into that in a later video. So another thing that this will do is it'll give me another hub, essentially, to where I can control my smart home equipment. So things like, we'll turn on the living room lamps. It'll go ahead and display my command, and it will go ahead and bring up a controller, just kind of like the Echo does. This one I think is a little bit more interactive, because not only can you control the brightness, you can also control the colors that you want. As you can see, they come preloaded with different colors. It'll tell you which lights you have here, so if you want to adjust one individually, you can do that as well. So that was just a small sampling of how my apartment is set up using smart home equipment. Hopefully this gave you some ideas or some inspiration in the future. Just because you live in an apartment or a small space doesn't mean you can't utilize this technology. So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and just leave it down below. You know what to do. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And until the next video, we'll see you next time.